Hello there. What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be doing another impossible fleet, and this is going to be an Armada video. We're talking about impossible fleets because there are certain fleets that were really hard to make. A lot of things have been very tough to do. Like, for example, if you wanted to run 6 Architans, because where in the heck are you going to find those, right? But the goal of this impossible fleets type of video, and I talked about this one in my last video, is really to talk about what is now going to be more feasible or more possible now that the upgrade card pack is coming out later this year. So I talked about a CR-90 swarm, so I want to kind of talk about maybe putting one of those together, how that might look in this video, and you know, to maybe give you some ideas and maybe, you know, tailor it back a little bit. But that's going to be what we're talking about today. Also, if you guys are new here, I do invite you to subscribe, you know, like the video, share the video if you like it, and all that good stuff. Check the links down in the description for more information. We've got new masks, new shirts, all kinds of cool stuff like that in the description. Shirts like this one, "Asteroids do not concern me," with the, you know. And actually, that's going to be something that plays into this particular video as well. But check all that out. Also, we got I'm announcing the winner for the most recent $25 Amazon gift card. That'll be at the end of this video, so watch all the way through. That being said, let's go ahead and start. I'm using Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder today, which is a really good fleet builder. I will put a link to it in the description, so you'll be able to find that. But I love this. I love this fleet builder. It's definitely my favorite one. People are always asking me, what are you using? So if I don't put a link to it, I'm going to get messages like, what fleet builder is this? It's a website, and it's not an app for a phone or anything like that. You can just use it in your browser. It works really good. It's very, very phone and mobile device sensitive. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this. I got a CR-90 Corvette out here, and one of the best upgrades to put on a CR-90 Corvette A is turbo laser reroute circuits. Now, if you've got the original turbo laser reroute circuits, you know, they were errated to where you have to exhaust it to be able to use it. So you can't use this for 2 shots from a CR-90A, but you can use it from 1 shot, and that's still pretty good. That's still really good, as a matter of fact. Especially with the concentrate fire, you get like 3 red dice at long range. Boom! You know, like, just, dude, it's so good. Especially if you put Jaina's Light on here. This is like one of my favorite builds. Jaina's Light and a TRC-90A. We call these TRC-90As because it's like a TRC, turbo laser reroute circuits with it. Okay, so for anybody who's been playing Armada for a long time, the term TRC-90 is not anything new. But if you're relatively new, this is something that we kind of call a TRC-90. Very, very strong ship with the Jaina's Light title. Like, it's cheap. It packs a punch. It can hide behind asteroids. It'll be obstructed if they shoot at it. But when it's shooting at the enemy ships, then it doesn't count as being obstructed. It can park on obstacles, not have a problem with that. It's just a fantastic ship. It fits really well in just about every build. Also, but one thing that's really awesome, and I've done this a couple of times. I try not to do it too much. Is if you happen to have multiple copies of turbo laser reroute circuits, you can run multiple CR-90As, but they are only available in the MC30. And who's going to buy a whole bunch of MC30s? And has 2 thumbs. This guy, right? Because I bought 4 MC30s, and then like the very next day they announced that month's promos were going to be more TRC promo cards for everybody. So I ended up with a lot of TRC turbo laser reroute circuits. So now that basically presumably you'll get at least 2 turbo laser reroute circuits in the upgrade card pack. And so if you've already got one, and maybe you do have one at least if you're a Rebel player, we can duplicate this and we can put more of them in here. We can just keep doing. If you click this little button with the little square within a square, that's going to just copy everything you have. It won't copy unique stuff. So if you notice, I didn't get any Jaina's Lights in here out of what also is available. But I can fit a whole bunch of these. I've got 5 of them in there right now. I'm only at 257 points. Boom, boom. And, you know, I'm at 7 of them right now. And, maybe I put Leia on here, right? Now, and she's going to be 10 points cheaper. She's still at that 38 right now in this particular list builder. But once 1.5 comes out, she's going to be 28. Like, you know, this is crazy, right? So like, this is something that's going to be a lot more possible. Now, we don't know how rare the upgrade card collection is going to be. Like, I know when, for example, when Legion came out with the upgrade card pack that they came out with, it was like sold out like really quick in a lot of places, and it became kind of tricky to get it. So that's like one of those things. But at least pre-order one. You may want a couple. Like, and this is a huge activation. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ships. Each of them has guaranteed double, guaranteed double. You know, and if you've got Leia, if they all concentrate fire, you're getting an extra die and a reroll and a guaranteed double. Like, what? So, like, that's a really cool idea, but that's boring. So I'm going to change this up a little bit. But this is just one example of one of the things you can do. You're going to get in 2 lists for one, because this is 390. Well, this is actually like 387, right? You could even put some squadrons in here. Put 2 Z95s. That would put you at 401, because Leia's 10 points higher, and so maybe you drop Jaina's light, or maybe make one a CR-90B or something like that. You can do a lot of interesting things. But let's drop a couple of these. Let's start canceling them. I'm going to leave 3. Though, realistically, I think this is probably a little more balanced. So I've got 3 CR-90As. I'm going to assume you've got one Corvette already. I mean, because you also have to buy the ships, right? All right, so maybe you don't have that many CR-90s. But maybe you've got one MC-30 already. Also, since maybe you have at least one turbo laser reroute circuit, and presume they give you 2 in the box, because they did say that at least some upgrades would have multiples. I think turbo laser reroute circuits is a prime candidate to have multiples, right? Hopefully there's multiples of them. And so I think most people who play Rebels will probably at least have 3 with one version of the upgrade card pack. Well, what's another good ship to put in here? Let's go with one of my least favorite ships. And it's really not bad. It's just I had talked about not liking the Starhawk very much, but let's put a Starhawk in here. It's new, and you know what? This would get us a lot of activations for having a Starhawk, right? Because that's what's beautiful about the CR-90. It packs a good punch, but it also is so cheap. You can fit quite a few of them in there. You don't even need to pad your list with flotillas. Now, it may be slightly better to pad your list with like a flotilla at least, and you could probably fit more squadrons in. So I feel a little stuffy right now. I don't know if it's allergies or what, but so if I sound a little weird, that's what's going on. But here's what I'll put on the Starhawk. We're gonna put our commander on here. I gotta take Leia off, because we're not gonna run Leia here. Leia might actually not be a bad option if you're running all those CR-90As. If you've got a lot of CR-90As, try it. But for the Starhawk, let's put a Gate on there. She's cheap. She's still good. I mean, Leia could work on this list too, potentially. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like the Starhawk. And I'm gonna put Gunnery Team on here. I don't think you have to put Gunnery Team on here, because if this ship can double arc, it can still do really, really well. But Gunnery Team's still really nice, right? Yeah. So let's still threaten people a little bit. And since we don't have the guaranteed damage here, I'm gonna give it linked turbo laser towers. It's one of my favorite upgrades in the game. It's gonna work on both of our shots. It can potentially work on squadron shots also. You can re-roll a red die in your attack pool. Hey, you get to attack squadrons with red die. This lets you re-roll every squadron attack you make too. This is really good for anti-squadron also. It's just so good. It's so good on this ship right here. I think it's beautiful. I think it's wonderful. I'm going to give it the Unity title for being a Starhawk 2. Unity's the only title it can take, but it's a good title because first off, it's giving you an extra redirect. So now basically a Gate can give you 2 braces, 2 redirects. Awesome. It's going to be really hard to kill this ship. And it's also going to be hard to kill your Corvettes because they're so fast, right? They can be at speed 4, naving, doing crazy maneuvers all game long. And that can be tough. Now, so I'm going to give us one of the newer officers. We're going to go with that Expert Shield Tech. Since we have the extra redirect here, this guy is going to allow us to spend a redirect to just reduce damage by 1. It's going to be a pretty cool option because it's actually damage reduction, not just damage distribution. It's going to be good for those smaller hits. Great way to spend that extra token. On those turns where we don't have a whole lot of attacks coming in. So I like that. Another real fun one, and it's unique to the Rebels, that's just like one of my favorite officers for the Rebels, is Ezra Bridger. because he gives you a lot of flexibility to play with objectives, and I love that, especially for a big ship like this that isn't super hyper mobile. You could find yourself in a pretty lousy position. You do kind of, with a speed 2 ship, you do kind of put yourself in some cases at the mercy of obstacles, especially if you go up against an interdictor fleet or something like that. Ezra is a little bit of protection against the really bad obstacle deployment, obstacle setup. And I think that's all we're going to put on this ship. Now, there are a couple more upgrades available. I'm not going to use those. I really don't need the Magnite Crystal Tractor Beam Array. I'm not super thrilled with that super weapon. It's okay, but I just don't want to use it. I do want a couple of squadrons, though, because the Unity title also is going to let me reroll stuff when I'm attacking squadrons. So in this, potentially, is going to give me 2 rerolls. If I reroll the red, I could fish for the double, which would be really, really fun. So one of the things I used to love to do, a really simple way to put up some squadrons, is to run Jan Ors and a couple of X-Wings, a couple of basic X-Wings, because they all have taunt. They all get to taunt. It's not called taunt, escort, but they all get to use Jan Ors' stuff. So I run 4 or 5 of these and Jan Ors, but that's 441, so that's way too expensive. So going back around, I went back and forth on this. I could sacrifice a couple of things off of the Starhawk in order to make a little bit more room for more squadrons, because even 2 X-Wings and Jan is at 402. And that's rough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 3rd squadron on there, and I almost never ever do this. I almost never ever just put 3, because then you have an odd number. You don't get to take advantage of the deployment. But I think this is more like a fun build, just an idea to give you an idea of some building options that may have been unavailable to you. So, this puts us at 400 points, but it gives us an A-Wing is also pretty good. It's good for moving around. It's got the counter. You could get 4 squadrons in there if you maybe dropped, the X-Wing and A-Wing. You put a couple of Z95s in there, or maybe you just drop Jan Ors and go for a regular, regular HWK, maybe. But this is just what I came up with. Just a fun kind of idea to just sit around and say, hey, you know what? I only have 1 turbo laser reroute circuit. I'm going to have 3 now. Maybe you've got the extra Corvettes. Maybe you don't. You could change that around. You could probably put in a couple of hammerheads in place of that, free up some more points. There's a lot of little things that you could do with the extra TRCs, but I already did hammerheads in the last video, so I wanted to make this one a little different, because I think the strength of the CR-90 is that it still also has that red die in the side arc and in the rear arc. So even if you have to go past your opponent, you can still shoot in the rear and then turn around, because you got that incredible maneuverability, and turn around the following turn. You can get out of that dangerous Star Destroyer front arc or whatever and live to keep fighting, which is really, really something. We do have to do objectives too. Honestly, we've got 4 activations here. It's not terrible. You could potentially do something like opening salvo, but you could also go with most wanted here. Advanced gunnery is an option if, and I say if you're thinking about maybe not running gunnery team on the Starhawk, because then advanced gunnery would be really, 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 really bad on the Starhawk. But there's a couple of different options on this one. One that I really do like, I don't know how often it gets picked, but is targeting beacons, because while a lot of these reds can sometimes give your opponent a little boost, or potentially something they can take advantage of, targeting beacons gives your opponent nothing at all. It just gives you rerolls, and with that Starhawk, you could potentially take really good advantage of those rerolls. So I'm going to put targeting beacon on there right now. It kind of tempts my opponent into that one. It's not going to help them at all. Fire lanes would be a fun one to kind of force your opponent to come to it. You just put the Starhawk there and just say, come on. Just say, come on. You're going to have to go through the Starhawk. I love fire lanes for that, and I pick it in more of my videos than maybe I should, but I'm a sucker for something that has just won me so many games. It's won me small tournaments, just because I had 2 games that were fire lanes, and I got over 400 points, because it exists the possibility to get over 600 potentially. it's crazy how many points you can get off of fire lanes. So I stick to it. And here, since we have so few squadrons and stuff, I mean, I'll point out the other one that I really do like is Fleet Ambush, because all squadrons go last. It's actually not a bad option here. So Fleet Ambush is another good, decent option. In this case, I think superior positions is definitely a possibility. Your CR-90s are going to be able to take a lot of shots on the rear of opponents' ships. So that could score you a lot of extra victory points. Solar Corona might not be as good with this one because you're going to be flying around a lot with the CR-90, so you may end up, and you may find yourself potentially shooting into your own Solar Corona. So I'm going to go with superior positions on this one. I know we don't have the squadron base to really take advantage of this one, and I get that. Hopefully, if my opponent does, the Starhawk can kind of start weakening them as they make their approach with that shot. And that's one of the things that Gunnery Team is really good here for, is that when you're making the approach and you need to flak out the front and shoot out the front, you can do that. And there we go. That's the list. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments section. We also have a winner to give away today, and so that's going to be, let's see if we can find the winner, and that is going to be Caden Eichhorn. Congratulations, Caden. Go ahead and shoot me an email, and I'll get your details. We'll get you squared away. You just won a $25 Amazon gift card. You can find my email address. It's mailcrabbok@gmail.com. You can find it on the About page of my YouTube channel. And if you didn't win this one, don't worry. I've got lots more giveaways planned. They're almost always going on. So, and to win any of those, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment. All right, guys, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will talk to you soon. Thank you to my patrons as well. Could not do this without you. Thank you so much, patrons. You guys are amazing. And as always, have a great day.